Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zang here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Rank, where I climb the online VGC 15 ladder. We're just gonna jump right into it. If you did watch yesterday's episode, we were able to pick up 2 wins in a row, which was great. Our rating currently is sitting at 1870 with a win-loss of 9146. So we're actually only 30 points away from the goal of 1900, which would be really awesome to hit. So I'm hoping I can pick up a bunch of wins here, as Felix from Spain with a rating of 1864 is going to be our first opponent of the day. A win here would net us a huge amount of points, but we've got a very interesting team matchup here. Felix has Salamence, Gardevoir, Amoonguss, Heatran, Terrakion, Suicune. So the Suicune, Terrakion, Heatran core here is real. Now Venusaur is really good against, Terrakion and Suicune, and it can ignore Amoonguss's Rage Powders, but then Cresselia, of course, with the Psychic type attacks, and Salamence with the, that's definitely Mega Salamence, with Aerial 8, just KOs via Venusaur, so tough matchup here. The question is who I want to lead with. I think I'm going to go with Gengar. I like Gengar for sure. And this is a tough matchup. I think I'm gonna go Venusaur to prevent Amoonguss / Suicune spam. If my opponent leads with Salamence, I can just Icy Wind from the start, though I don't anticipate my opponent leading with Salamence. For the back, I don't think Heatran's good to have in this matchup. Terrakion's honestly not that great because of redirection and because Cresselia and Suicune get super effective hits on it. So I'm actually thinking I'm going to go with Suicune and Bisharp here. Let's see. Yep, I feel pretty good about those, so I'm just going to lock in. Heatran here is really good against Amoonguss, but Salamence, of course, Mega Salamence gets access to Earthquake, which I actually run on my old Mega Salamence team. And then, of course, Heatran is Earth Powered, Terrakion is Close Combat, Suicune is Scald. So Heatran here, while it can beat Amoonguss and wall Cresselia, can't do very much against the other 4 Pokemon, and those 4 Pokemon all have optimal matchups, so I don't feel like it's a great idea. And while Terrakion is a really great offensive threat, Mega Salamence will probably be able to outspeed it if my opponent's Jolly. I don't want to risk the speed tie against my opponent's Terrakion. A Suicune can just Scald it, Amoonguss can Spore it. So we see the Terrakion and Heatran leads coming out from my opponent against Gengar Venusaur. This isn't too great, but it's also not the worst. Let's see. This is a case where I wish I led Suicune. Suicune would be so good here. What to do? I think I want to taunt. Well, okay. The question here is, does Heatran go for the Heat Wave or the sub? Because I would sub here if I were my opponent. So I kind of want to taunt it to prevent a sub. Mega Evolve and just Giga Drain the Terrakion. Yeah, I'm going to make that play. Rock Slide plus Heat Wave won't KO Mega Venusaur. Might KO Gengar, but then the taunt prevents Heatran from doing much, and then I get a free switch into Suicune, and then I can set up Tailwind after that. So, if I let Suicune here, things would have been a lot better, but, you know what, I'm not going to complain. I think Gengar Venusaur gave me answers to basically everything my opponent had. So let's see if the Heatran does go for the taunt, or the sub. As Terrakion protects, good play there. So I'm going to get the taunt off. Does Heatran go for the sub? I think it's probably going to Heat Wave here. Oh, it does go for the sub. Excellent. Good protect from that Terrakion there, though, for sure. So, getting that taunt is fantastic. I'm going to Icy Wind. And, actually, I could switch Gengar out right now to Suicune. To try to get up a Tailwind and go for the Giga Drain onto Terrakion. Yeah, I don't want to lose Gengar right now, just because Gengar can Icy Wind the Salamence. Which is pretty important. And Suicune has a pretty optimal matchup right now. So Suicune's going to come in. Terrakion switches out. Good switch out on my opponent's end. Let's see what comes in. Into Cresselia. Okay. I don't mind that too much, just because my opponent can't really touch either of my Pokemon. Or we can't really touch the Suicune, as Heat Wave does a fair amount there. Hopefully no burn. Let's see. Okay, no burn. So I get the Giga Drain off, but more importantly, I get the Suicune in, which is a huge threat to basically all my opponent's Pokemon as of right now. If my opponent's last Pokemon is Salamence, then my opponent just doesn't have many great ways to deal with the position that he's put in right now. Just because Suicune can beat Salamence, Terrakion, and Heatran. So I'm hoping my opponent's last one is Salamence, which I would expect it to be, honestly. Let's see. Heatran comes in here. I think I'm actually gonna Snarl and Leech Seed the Heatran. Heatran might actually no, I can't really see Heatran switching out, but I still wanna. I also want to set up Tailwind, but I'm fearing the Trick Room from Cresselia. I could also just Scald Heatran and protect Venusaur. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna make that play. Okay, he's gonna stay in, so gonna get some free damage off here, I assume. Yeah, Heatran just goes for Heat Wave. Perfect. And if Cresselia decides to go for the Trick Room, which I don't even know if it carries, then that'll only help me out. Okay, it goes for the Icy Wind. Good play. But like I said, this Suicune's going to be able to take that easily. Let's see, as I do get the Scald off against the Heatran. Bringing it under 50%, which is great. And that is Leftovers Heatran, okay. I think Taunt's about to wear off. Yeah. So a good sub here, I guess, but... let's see. I need to knock out this Heatran so the Venusaur can start doing work. Once again, my opponent really can't touch me my Suicune right now, but constant Heat Waves aren't good against Venusaur. I might actually... Given that we saw Icy Wind come out from Cresselia, I could Tailwind here. Could also Snarl. Let's see, I really want to knock out Heatran, so I'm just going to go for the Scald right into that slot, and I'm going to Leech Seed the Crest. Heatran just goes for Heat Wave, so I think I'll be able to pick up a KO onto it with Scald here. As, yeah, Venusaur is so bulky. As Psyshock comes out, but since it uses defenses, I think Venusaur should be able to survive this Psyshock. Yep, it hangs on with 11 HP. With that crit, too, wow. Leech Seed fortunately connects with Crest as well. That's nice. So yeah, I didn't want to switch out into Gengar or Bisharp because neither of those could take the attacks that were coming. But wow, this Heatran's actually able to survive my Scald. That's bad. That's bad news for me right now. I really needed the KO there, so that makes this match a bit more interesting, that's for sure. As I am going to be able to steal some HP here. I think I'm going to Tailwind here. And obviously protect Venusaur. So Cresselia has revealed Icy Wind and Psyshock. I'm curious as to what the last two items are, or last two attacks are, as well as its item. But yeah, definitely unfortunate crit there on Venusaur, because without it, with the Tailwind up, I could outspeed, KO the Heatran, and Venusaur could potentially take another Psyshock. I don't think it can right now, but we'll see. And the Heatran being able to survive that Scald was big too, but I'm sure the first time I used it, it was just a high damage roll. And you see how clutch of an item Leftovers really is. So I'm going to protect here. Good prediction there, going straight for the Earth Power onto Suicune, which of course is going to do more damage. Hopefully no special defense drop. As, let's see. Yeah, excellent double target into the Suicune there. So, you know, Suicune's a very annoying Pokemon to deal with and KO, but if there's any way, you know, just constant double targets is really good. So now I get the Tailwind up now, which is good. Just because obviously Tailwind is a really good thing to have up right now, as the Leech Seed here is helping me out recover a bit more as well. If I'm my opponent here, I would actually protect Heatran and Icy Wind with Crest. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to Scald the Heatran, because if Heatran protects, then, you know, Crest gets an attack off, but that's fine. And I'm actually going to switch into Bisharp, because I should outspeed Heatran, so should Heatran choose the Heat Wave here, then I just knock it out. If it doesn't attack, then I get either a Defiant boost from the Icy Wind, or my opponent just Psyshocks into the Bisharp. As we see here, Heatran is not going to protect, so that's actually ideal, as I'm going to pick up the KO against it here. And if Crest goes for the Icy Wind, then Bisharp's going to get that Defiant boost as well. But it goes for the Moonlight, which makes sense. I was wondering what kind of Crest this is, and Moonlight definitely makes a lot of sense here for me. Just because, yeah, you know, with Crest you tend to go, you know, under like the Trick Room route, but if you have Icy Wind, I think Icy Wind, Psyshock, Moonlight is just a really annoying set to deal with, and we haven't even seen its fourth attack, as Terracion's going to come out for my opponent here. But definitely feel pretty good about my position right now. So I'm going to go straight for the Scald into Terrakion, and I'm just going to knock off Crest, because I've got Tailwind set up, obviously, right now. So even if Terrakion protects, then Bisharp just gets a knockoff against Crest. If it doesn't protect, then I get a Scald off against the Terrakion. So definitely feel pretty good about my position right now. the main thing I have to watch out for is knocking out this Cresselia, because with Moonlight, you can actually just stall forever and heal up. So I'm going to want to try to KO it. I don't think the Life Orb knockoff here will actually knock it out. So I guess we'll find out. It depends on how bulky that Cresselia really is. I'm guessing it has Rocky Helmet as its item, so I really want to knock it out right now. Terrakion goes for a Protect, which is really good. Though I guess we might see a T-Wave going into Bishop. I guess we'll find out. I was tempted to doubling into the Crest there, and wow, it hangs on with literally like 1 HP. A knockout there would have been great, but you know what? I'll take whatever I can. Let's see what Crest goes for. Maybe a Thunder Wave? The Icy Wind, wow. Questionable play there. Because I still have Tailwind, meaning Bishop is still at +1 speed. So I don't know, I don't think I agree with that play, because that just, I mean, Defiant not mattering here very much right now, but I actually forgot about the Leech Seed, so that's actually going to knock out Cresselia, which is great. So yeah, that just made things more interesting. I'm up 4-2 right now, which is great, and I knocked out Crest, which was really the biggest threat to Mega Venusaur, as I'd suspect Salamence is going to come in here. That's going to give me another boost if it's Intimidate. So this Bishop is at +3 attack right now, which is kind of absurd. So yeah, I definitely obviously don't want to lose this game given the position I'm in. Let's see. Still have to play carefully though. Definitely still have to play carefully. I'm thinking here I can just Sucker Punch Salamence. If Salamence protects and Terrakion gets the close combat off against Bishop, then Scald will pick up the KO against it, and then it's a 3-on-1 and my opponent can't win. And even if it's Sash Terrakion, Icy Wind from the Gengar I have in the back basically ensures things. Because I'm thinking here my opponent might predict the target into Terrakion. I don't know, I mean I could just Iron Head it as well. But Terrakion right now outspeeds my Suicune, of course, given the boost. I don't think it should outspeed Bishop. Actually, let's see. How fast am I? 122. Yeah, so even with that Icy Wind, I still should be... Yeah, I'm just going to Scald Terrakion and Sucker Punch Salamence. Salamence is probably going to protect here. We'll see, though. If it doesn't protect, it's game over. Or I guess I could Dragon Dance as well. But the main point here is I saved Gengar mainly because I knew it could outspeed Terrakion and Icy Wind against Mens. Perfect. Salamence does go for the attack, which is what I was predicting. And that is going to be a knockout, so... yeah, that ends up playing out perfectly. And Bishop really was the MVP being able to switch into this game as we see the double kick tech coming out. So I actually should have anticipated double kick because had Salamence protected there, I actually would not be able to pick up the knockout here with Scald. Not really a big deal because I had Gengar in the back anyway. And Venusaur, of course, but... yeah, I mean, I went for the Sucker Punch predicting that my opponent would have attacked there, as now I can just bring in Venusaur, and it's going to be game. But, wow, that was a hard-fought match for sure. I thought my matchup looked really poor, but I was just able to play it out. And that's why I kind of like the testament of these bulky teams. My opponent didn't have any good way to deal with this Suicune. I actually should have went for Tailwind there, and Protect with Venusaur. But, let's see, will the flinches happen? Venusaur flinches, Suicune gets the Scald off though, so... could have played a bit safer there, but, yeah, not much. Not much else to say. Good game to my opponent there. But yeah, even when you're in positions like this, you should definitely always maximize your chances. So, of course, if I Tailwind and protected there, Venusaur would have been able to outspeed Terrakion and just get the Giga Drain off. Also would have forced my opponent to get a couple more flinches off if he wanted to win. But great game to Felix there. That was really fantastic. And it's always interesting to see mirror matches with similar Pokemon. But yeah, the main point of this game, I mean, I feel like getting the Tailwind up ultimately with Suicune was really important. Switching in Suicune against a Heatran and Terrakion was great, and of course predicting the substitute that first turn was monumental. If Heatran is able to get a substitute against my team, it actually gives me a lot of trouble. So we're gonna pick up a win there. We are sitting at 1885 right now, so basically 1 or 2 more wins away from our goal of 1900. So I'm getting real excited now. This is getting really intense. Road to Ranked has been an awesome journey for you guys, and of course I do have more teams to feature very soon for those asking, so I do apologize, you know, for sticking with the same team sometimes, but I do like to feature a team a lot when it's a team that I like, and of course I did bring this team to Apex, and I thought it performed really well there, and I figured, you know, I'd feature Mega Venusaur, which I think is really underrated right now in VGC 2015, so... I'm gonna look for a second match here. It's very possible that this match will bring us over 1900 if my opponent is around my rating, but given that it's already taking a while to find it, I feel like we're gonna have a lower rated player. But yeah, a win here would bring us definitely over 1890s for sure, and then after that we're only one game away from the 1900s, so getting really exciting now. Hopefully no chokes, but that was a big win in that last match. But taking a while to find our second opponent of the day here, but it's going to be an 1842 rated player from Japan. I don't think that will push us over 1900, but it's going to give us a huge amount of points, and wow, this is an interesting team. Kangaskhan, Talonflame, Zapdos, Bisharp, Garchomp, and Darmanitan. That is one of the more... I have not played against the Darmanitan all of this year yet, so that's the Pokemon I'm most curious about right now. I can already tell Suicune's really good against everything bar the Zapdos. Zapdos is a big threat. Terrakion here is fantastic because it can one-hit KO Talonflame, Kangaskhan, Bisharp, and super effective hits against Zapdos and Darmanitan. The question is, what items do the Pokemon on my opponent's team have? Because Talonflame, Bisharp, Darmanitan are all, you know, could easily carry Life Orb / Choice Band, Scarf, maybe even. So, lead matchup here is definitely important. I actually like the idea of leading with Gengar Terrakion. Just because, you know, if my opponent leads with Kangaskhan, then normally Kangaskhan likes to scrappy fake out Gengar, and if that is the case, then Terrakion can close combat knock it out. And if I can bait the fake out onto Terrakion, then I can just Icy Wind Will-O-Wisp right from the start. And Gengar Terrakion gives me really good coverage against my opponent's entire team. So I feel good about that. Suicune can actually one-hit KO Darmanitan, Talonflame, and Garchomp, so I'm going to have that in the back. And Mega Venusaur actually makes a lot of sense for the last one, as long as I conserve... and as long as I knock out the Talonflame. So once I knock out Talonflame, Venusaur is fantastic in this matchup as well. Probably not going to want Heat Train here just because of the potential low kick from Kangaskhan and EQ from Garchomp. The question is whether I want to bring my own Bisharp, but I feel like Venusaur just has overall better use here. So I'm going to lock in. If my opponent leads with Talonflame, that would be really good because, like I said, once I knock out Talonflame, Venusaur kind of has a field day in this matchup. But I'm really curious to see my opponent's team, especially the Darmanitan. I do have to watch out for the potential Tailwind play from Zapdos or Talonflame though. But by leading with Gengar and Terrakion, I can put on enough offense where I can pick up a one-hit KO immediately, just because right now I'm in the position to get a knockout onto really anything my opponent leads with. So, priority will be to really knock out Talonflame and or Zapdos, so Suicune and Venusaur in the back are able to perform at maximum capability. But we are going to see Darmanitan and Zapdos coming right out against Gengar and Terrakion. Ooh, this should be interesting. I don't know, I really think that's Scarf Darmanitan, as pressure is exerted here from Zapdos. I don't know here. I could just go for the Rock Slide, but if it's Scarf Darmanitan, then I'm kind of done for, because Darmanitan can just... I don't know, my opponent might target down Terrakion and go for the Tailwind here with Zapdos. But I'm gonna Icy Wind, and... Or maybe he'll... No, he wouldn't T-Bolt into the Terrakion slot, though. You know, I'm actually gonna Icy Wind and Protect. Because if my opponent doesn't Tailwind with Zapdos, and if Darmanitan isn't faster, then I can just Rock Slide the following turn. Oh my gosh, the U-turn coming out. So that is Scarf Darmanitan. Glad I predicted that. Did not think we'd be seeing U-turn, but hey, I'm going to get an Icy Wind off here. And that Darmanitan is actually locked into U-turn, which is as ideal of a position as I'll get, because it decreases the damage output from my opponent's end. We do see the Tailwind coming out from the Zapdos, though, so no surprise to see that play. So I'm going to want to stall out Tailwind, obviously, but now I get a pretty safe Will-O-Wisp into Darmanitan, because it's definitely U-turning, and I can just Rock Slide as well. Though... I don't think U-turn plus T-Bolt can knock out Gengar, which is the most important thing right now. So, that's a really good first turn. I think there wasn't much I could have done if Darmanitan went for like a fighting type attack onto Terrakion plus the Tailwind, just because it'd be locked into it. But then I could just switch out Terrakion into, say, Venusaur or Suicune. But now I'm feeling a lot better about that position, or you know, the first turn, just because Darmanitan revealed the Choice Scarf, which to me makes the most sense as an item on it. You know, that is why, even though I've never played against it, I did expect it. Is we're actually going to see it swap out into Kangaskhan. That Kangaskhan's going to take a Will-O-Wisp because, of course, I did predict the physical switch in. And Gengar's actually still faster after that Icy Wind, which is really good news for me here. As I do get the burn, and I outspeed Zapdos, so this is a pretty slow Zapdos, as I can't outspeed either of my Pokemon after that Icy Wind, and Rock Slide does so much damage there. Zapdos is going to eat up that Citrus Berry, but it has a decent chance of flinching here. Let's see what it goes for. Goes straight for the T-Bolt into Gengar, which makes sense. Gengar able to take that pretty well, though, and that was a really good turn for me. Not much more to say. So I'm going to want to... Let's see. I already feel pretty good about the position I'm in right now. Actually, what I could do, because I know I outspeed the Zapdos with both my Pokemon, I could just Sludge Bomb Rock Slide here. Because my opponent can't knock me out with Kangaskhan. Alternatively, I could play a bit safer and swap Gengar out into Venusaur. And Protect. I actually kind of like that play more. I'm going to play it on the safer end. Though that does give my opponent the opportunity to switch Zapdos out, so I'm not sure. Maybe I should just go for the more offensive play. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to just Sludge Bomb and Rock Slide here. Because I want to punish any... Oh, wow, okay. Kangaskhan staying in Scrappy, faking out Terrakion. That's going to allow me to actually get more damage off here with Sludge Bomb. Actually picking up the KO. That's pretty sweet. What does Zapdos go for here? The Roost. Makes a lot of sense. Normally you see Rocky Helmet on Zapdos with Roost just because it's more stally, but I'm not going to complain here. Sure, you know, you got to Roost up, but I already knocked out Mega Kangaskhan, which was definitely one of the more annoying Pokemon. I mean, Mega Kangaskhan's always annoying to deal with, though my team is actually pretty anti-Meta Kangaskhan, so I could have Sludge Bombed Zapdos there. I wasn't sure if it could have knocked it out, but I guess I should have gone for it, as we're going to see Garchomp come in here. So, the infamous Garchomp-Zapdos duo, going all the way back to VGC 2008 actually, 2008, 2009, that's when it was really common. So once I knock out the Zapdos here, I'm basically good to go. I'm gonna Icy Wind and just Rock Slide, I think. EQ shouldn't even knock out Terrakion because of the defense split, or the attack split. As Zapdos actually switches out, so Darmanitan here, yeah, no way we're gonna see a Earthquake come out from Garchomp. I'd assume Dragon Claw or Rock Slide. It is gonna be a Dragon Claw into Gengar. Is that gonna knock me out? It is. So if it didn't knock me out there, it would have basically been GG, but you know what? I'm not going to complain, as that's actually a Life Orb Garchomp. Okay. Rock Slide fortunately connects with both of my opponent's Pokemon. That's really good. Does it knock out Darmanitan? Wow, it does! That's huge. Oh, is it actually a... Oh, crit the Garchomp, not the Darmanitan. Darmanitan, of course, a really frail Pokemon. It really can't take attacks very well, as demonstrated by that. So Tailwind peters out, which is great. And I'm definitely going to want to bring Venusaur in here. So I feel pretty good about my position right now, as Zapdos comes out. What do I want to do now? Let's see. Of course, Terrakion's faster than Garchomp as well. Though we might see a Tailwind come out from the Zapdos. No, I'm actually going to just double into Zapdos with a Sludge Bomb and a Rock Slide. That should pick up the knockout, and then Suicune wins the game. Also, I feel like my opponent might protect Garchomp and go for the Tailwind here. Even if he doesn't, you know, that's fine. Rock Slide plus Sludge Bomb should be able to knock out Zapdos. Okay, Rock Slide connects with both Pokemon, which is always really good news. Actually, I'm not sure if Sludge Bomb can knock it out here. Let's see. As I actually flinch Garchomp. Oh, the double flinch. That's basically going to ensure the win here. But I don't think there's much my opponent could have done. Unless he crit the EQ against... I mean, Venusaur's so defensively bulky, though, so I don't really think any of that mattered. I mean, it just made my job 10 times easier, since I did end up picking up the KO onto Zapdos. By knocking out Zapdos, it means that Suicune gets the 100% guaranteed victory on Garchomp, so it didn't really need either of those flinches, but that just made the game end a bit quicker, so... Sorry to my opponent about that. I was just fortunate enough for actually hitting the Rock Slide there in general. But yeah, that was an exciting match. And oh man, I think we are officially now one battle away from the 1900s. So two really exciting games against 1800 plus players today, which is always great to feature, which is awesome. So hope you guys enjoyed that episode. I'm actually going to quickly check my rating here just to see where we're at right now. And then let's see. 1900! Guys, we did it! We did it! Oh my gosh, that's awesome. We hit our goal. I'm actually going to turn it off here to make sure I don't find an opponent, but wow, we did it. I did not think that would give me enough points there, but we managed to reach 1900, which has been basically the goal of Road to Rank. That doesn't mean I'm going to stop it. I'm still going to be recording, obviously. So we're going to aim for 2000 now, but what a nice way to finish today's episode as we hit 1900 right on the dot. So thanks to guys who, you guys who've been watching Road to Ranked. I know it's been really up and down, especially last season when I tanked a lot towards the end and ended up with a low 1800 rating. But it's been really fun. Of course, I'll still be doing it daily as we continue our climb up, but it's awesome to finally reach 1900 after falling, going up and down. Climbing the online ladder is really difficult, so it's been an awesome journey, and yeah, looking forward to more future episodes. But thanks to everyone who's watched it so far. I think it's already been like 50 plus episodes, which blows my mind, but it really means a lot that you guys come out daily and support the series, you know, watching the videos, commenting, liking, all that good stuff. So yeah, that's it for this episode, guys. We did it. We hit 1900, and yeah, as always, like, comment, rate, subscribe, blah blah blah, all that good stuff, and I shall see you tomorrow. All right, peace, guys.